good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm Kim with K-Bells Crochet. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone is fabulous. I am. It is 8:30 in the morning in my neck of the woods. I hope everyone is safe from the hurricane. I pray for all those that were affected by Helene. I'm so sorry. I know that rebuilding is going to be really a long journey for all of you, and I'm praying for all of you and continued prayers for all of those affected, and praying for all of those in Florida that will be hit by this next one. I'm so sorry that you guys are having to deal with this. But on to crochet. So I've been doing a new pattern. It's a silly mallard. It's a silly goose pattern that has a modification in it to where you could do a mallard or a flamingo, or you could do a goose. Really fun, easy pattern. It's by the Friendly Red Fox on Pinterest. I'm sorry, let me fix you guys here real quick. There we go. It's by the Friendly Red Fox on Pinterest. I'll link it down below if I can remember. And I did do a mini Michaels haul last week. It wasn't anything humongous. It was only 6 skeins. I got this green. I did not get any more of the, what was it? The one that I got before. The Sweet Snuggles Light. I did not get any more of that one. I just did not like that one. So I ended up getting Chanel Home Slim. I actually do like using this one. This one is really nice. It doesn't tear up as easy as the other one. It's really nice to work with. I got that dark green. I got this like sage color agave. I got black because I have to finish a spider that I'm working on. And a couple of other colors. Oh, brown. Now this one, let me tell you about this one right here. This is terracotta. When I got home, and the reason this is in, I had to do it like this. I had like 5 skeins. When I got home, it was like pieces were cut and shoved into the middle of the skein of yarn. It's like somebody either at the factory or somebody took it home and realized they didn't like it and they returned it. I don't know what the case was, but there were like really long pieces just cut and shoved into the center. And I was like, okay, it happened a couple times, not a big deal. I decided I wanted to wind it up. For whatever reason, the end of the yarn was stuck in the middle of however they wound the yarn up at the factory. It was like stuck in the middle of the winding, and there wasn't another end. I couldn't find the other end. Yesterday I spent 3 hours untangling this yarn just to wind it. Now I'm not happy about that at all. That's very upsetting because you don't expect to have to do that with yarn when you purchase it. You expect that it's going to cooperate. If I couldn't have pulled from the center, I would have pulled from the outside. But because the outside strand was wrapped in and woven in, I couldn't even do that. And then, yeah, that was not fun at all. 3 hours worth of untangling a massive roll or massive skein of yarn was not a fun experience. But I finally got through it. It did take me, like I said, 3 hours, but I got through it. I'm working on, I got a large spider. I haven't got the legs on it yet, but I will show what it looks like after I'll get the legs on. As a matter of fact, I have one made. Let me grab it real quick. All right, I'm back. This is a pattern I bought off of Etsy. Now, a while back, I've been talking about how I had a commission for a spider. I just could never find the pattern that I really liked. I mean, I'd gone and made so many spiders, so many different patterns, and I finally found one on Etsy that I like. Um, I don't even have the name written down, to be honest with you. I guess later on in this video, I'll put the name in of the person I got the pattern from. But let me tell you, it's time consuming, very time consuming. It is a nice pattern though. It's easy to work up. It's fun to work. And I will get my commission done. It's just, I finally found the pattern that I really like. So this one will have, what is that? That one's got two. Yeah, this one's going to have 2 full brown ones on this side, 2 full brown ones on this side, and then 2 black and 2 black. And then the pincers on the front will be black. Showed the customer the body already, the colors I chose. He's ecstatic. The only reason it's not a big, huge hurry is because the customer happens to be one of my son's friends. And I told him he could wait to pay me until it was done. And now he has to wait because he's got to wait to do more chores to make more money. But he's very excited about it. And I told him it's not a big deal. I'll get it done. And next weekend we can go over how much I'm charging. Anyhow, I am working on another silly mallard. I'm working on the white on the neck. And, you know, these things right here, they take me an hour. And that's only because I keep having to get up. And I'm not able to just sit down and relax and crochet. I hadn't done a video in over a week. Excuse me. Only because last week was such a busy week. I couldn't even find time to just sit down and talk. Like, I was so busy. I wanted to. I kept telling myself I need to do a video, but, you know, you get busy and life happens, and then you just can't. So, but I'm going to finish this guy up, and I'll probably jump back on here in a little bit, and we'll think about some other things that we want to crochet. Still doing the market on the 19th. Very excited about that. I can't wait. I feel like I'm down to crunch time, but I'm really not. I mean, I'm really not. I don't know. They still haven't emailed me back. I've emailed twice. I wish that I had a phone number I could call for them, but oh well. It's just what it is. It is what it is. But I will get back on here in a little bit. Hey everybody, it's Kim. I'm back. So I did look, and the pattern creator for the spider that I showed is by Curious Papaya, and that's on Etsy. If you're interested, you can go and look her up. That's a really fun and easy pattern to do. I did come across another pattern by Fame Art with Poonim. I'm assuming I'm saying that correctly. Fame Art with Poonim, Poonam. She's on YouTube, and she is the original creator of these little guys. These are loaf dogs. They're really cute. They're really fun and easy to make. I've made 3 of them already. I am going to 3 of the cutest little things ever. I'm going to be selling them for $18. Just because there's so many color changes and, you know, so much time that goes into making them. The first one I made was this little guy right here. And this one took me 2 hours, but that's because I had just learned the pattern, and instead of watching the YouTube video over and over again, I wrote it down. See, I have 3 notebooks that I write the patterns in. If I don't have it on my phone,
then I'll print it up. I don't like to keep the files on my phone because, you know, I'm sorry, this thing is quite annoying. What if something happens to my phone and I lose those patterns? I like to keep them next to me. So I have a big notebook, and then I have 3 spiral notebooks of patterns that I keep. I will need to go to Hobby Lobby and get some more yarn like this one. This is Cozy Occasions, and this is hummus color, because this is the type of yarn that she uses. She uses blanket yarn to make them. Now, I tried to... This one right here was made with more of a velvet yarn, and it came out a little smaller. I made that with the Home Slim, and it came out just a little smaller than the others. I mean, not a whole lot, but you can tell a difference in it. So I do want to get some more yarn like this one. This is comparable to blanket yarn. Um, I would like to go to maybe Walmart since they have the blanket yarn there, but I have to wait for my son to get home from work so I can go and do this. And he won't. It's 3:47 now, and he won't be home till like 5:20 or 5:30. And by then, I'll probably just be tired and not want to go. But I'm going to force myself because I would like to make more of these little guys. I do make the Dotsons, the Dachshund, however it's pronounced. Honestly, I guess you pronounce it however you want. I pronounce it Dotson. I know a lot of people that pronounce it Dotson. Um, I do make those, but I've only made 2 of them, and they take so long, and it's just a lot of work. And I just don't, I don't really want to make any more of those. And these little guys, they're no sew other than you put on the tail, but I mean, really, that's not like the hardest thing ever to do. So, yeah, I want to make more of these. This one I gave smaller eyes. I wish I would have used the larger size, but I mean, it'll work. It works for what I need it for. Some of these I did detail, like this one has like white in the eyes. I don't know if you can see that. But there's white in under the eye. That's what she does in her video. It shows you how to do that as well. But I'm not really good at the fine details of all of the faces. I want to improve in that area. I think that's one of the areas I can improve in. But to be honest, it's not that easy for me because it's hard for me to see. I mean, if you notice when I'm doing my videos, I squint a lot. It's hard for me to see. So, other than that, I I'm really hooked on making these guys, and I do plan on making more. I'm not exactly sure really what else to make. I mean, my I believe my market is in a week or so, and in all honesty, and there's really not a whole lot left for me to make. I was thinking about making some scarves. See, scarves and hats in my adding machine, but the only issue with that is it's still hot and it's Texas, and I don't think any of those will sell. I mean, people aren't thinking, oh, I need to get winter items. They're not thinking about that right now. I certainly am not thinking about that right now. I'm not thinking I need to get winter items. Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to walk away for a little bit. It is the next day. I was in the middle of talking about how I think I left off where I was talking about how I needed to knit some more dish rags. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start knitting some dish rags. Now, this is by all means not a knitting tutorial. I'm not very good at teaching knitting. I had to learn online, but I thought I could knit. Let me move you guys down a little bit. I could knit and talk for a little bit. Um, this is just a simple dish rag. It's called, let's see, Grandma's favorite dishcloth, and it's a pretty simple It's pretty simple. So what I do is slip knot. Every now and then I like to knit just to break up the monotony of crochet. It doesn't take long to make these. They're kind of fun. So I need 4 stitches on here. So I have my 1, that's my slip knot, 2, 3, and 4. Now, like I said before, this is not going to be a knitting tutorial because I'm not good at teaching. I mean, I guess I could if you were in front of me, but sorry. I guess I could if you were in front of me, but you're not in front of me, so my phone is. I'm going to go ahead and trim that. We don't need that so long. Anyways, then we will knit these 4 stitches. Now I know that there are people out there that experience I can't remember what it's called, like a crochet block or whatever, where you get tired of crochet and sorry, I'm concentrating. And then it's hard to get back to doing it, you know. Burnout, I think. I've not experienced that. I think because every now and then I break it up between knitting and crochet, and that keeps me from experiencing burnout. So we'll knit 1, yarn over, knit to the end of the row. And that yarn over is how we add stitches because we're going from corner to corner when we make this dishcloth, and that's how we add stitches. Now right now it just looks like a group of nothing. It looks like nothing, like literally, but it'll look like something once I get further in. If you ever want to learn to knit, find a YouTube channel. All you have to do is look up knitting for beginners or how to knit, and it'll show you the basic stitches like garter stitch. That's what I started out learning, was the garter stitch. Then I moved on to making these, which is basically the garter stitch. And then I learned to knit socks, which was very difficult. And then I moved on to sweaters, which was even harder for me because I had to measure and decrease and increase in certain areas. And I still have not made a sweater yet that actually fits me. And I've only made 2 because I got frustrated with it. That's just how it is sometimes. But knitting is relaxing. You know, you just sit here and you go row by row. Idle hands and keep your hands busy. I can't remember what that saying is, but I know that if I keep my hands busy, my mind doesn't race as much. And for someone who has anxiety, such as myself, high anxiety, such as myself, it really does help me keep myself busy and not in my thoughts. It's a focus game. So today is Friday, and it's 7:11 p.m. I was speaking to my older son earlier, and he was telling me how his days feel like they're flying by, which is coincidental because I said the same thing. If you blink, it's gone. I don't know where my days are going. I don't even remember what I'm doing throughout most of my days. It just moves so quickly. But I've been trying to do this video for 4 days now. And it seems like every time I sit down and I get ready to film, I have to leave. I have to walk the dogs. I need to cook the dinner. I got to put the laundry in the dryer. It's something every time. I'm not complaining about that at all. I mean, that doesn't bother me. I do dishes like 5 or 6 times a day by hand. I do not have a dishwasher. My hands are always clean. But it just seems like every time I try to film, something comes up. And my doggos, they like to be outside. All dogs like to be outside. We are having an issue with our neighbor dogs. They have decided that they wanted to try and dig a hole under the fence and come across. So my neighbor put up a log there, so they can't do that. But I think I might have to put something in front of it on my side, because those little boogers they're really trying to get over. Now, they're sweet dogs. They're good dogs. I don't know how they would be with my dogs, but I know that I've been around them in person and they're very sweet and gentle. I'm just not sure, you know, how they are with other dogs. I know they bark at my dogs, but I don't know if they would actually fight if they got near them. And I don't want to find out, to be honest with you. Um, Now, lately, we've been having issues with coyotes coming up to our fence. They came up to our back fence the other night, and last night they came up to the fence on the side of us. Now, I'm not scared of coyotes. My only issue is I have cats out there. Now, most of them know to climb on the roof of the house. There's a way for them to get up. We have ladders and stuff. They know how to climb up there. Believe it or not, they've been doing it for years. And I do have 3 cats missing now, so I have a feeling that the coyotes are around because they have already picked off 3 of them. Now, we have guard dogs because our neighbor has, animals. They have geese and ducks and horses and donkeys and chickens and turkeys and all types of animals. And so, their dogs stay out all night and they guard the wildlife, or not wildlife, but their animals, their farm. And it's not deterring the coyotes one bit. They're not afraid of them anymore, which is kind of concerning because that's the whole reason the dogs are out there, is to keep the other animals safe. I'm not sure if my neighbors have had any of their chickens or whatever come up missing yet. I guess we'll find out, because usually they'll text us and ask us, are you missing any animals? And and I'll let them know, but I haven't gotten any messages from the neighbors yet. And I saw the neighbor riding her horse today, and she didn't mention anything. So maybe the dogs are keeping the coyotes at bay. But I have a neighbor on the left of me. They have their guard dogs for their animals. The neighbor behind where we live, they have their guard dogs for their animals. But the neighbor to the right of me does not have any animals, and their dog is in a pen behind the house. So the coyotes are going over on that side of us now to come through the fence. Now, he did put up an electric fence, but he only put it up so far, and to keep them away from his dog, because they'll come up and pick off a lonely dog. They will. And I've noticed we've had an abundance of rabbits around here, so might be coming to get those. They'll get whatever they can get. They're not picky. They'll eat whatever they can get, and they run in packs. And pretty soon there will be bobcats running around. Um, I don't know if y'all have ever heard a bobcat when they're in heat and their mating call, but they sound like a screaming witch. I'm not kidding. It is creepy. You hear a bobcat's mating call in the middle of the night, and it sounds like an old woman. First time I ever heard it scared the life out of me. And it was in the field right next to us, and it was really close. And luckily, the guard dogs from the neighbor was able to get scare it off. But I have had bobcats come in my front yard. Now, mind you, I'm on 5 acres. We're in the back of the property, so I've got plenty of land for animals to roam around, wildlife to roam around. I would never harm any of them at all, but if they come up and try to pick off my animals, we we will have a problem. And bobcats will eat house cats. I don't know if y'all know that is they will do that. So, talking and knitting, this is as far as I've gotten, and this is what it looks like. Now, this is the garter stitch. I don't know if any of you are actually interested in knitting, but like I said, you should try it. It's relaxing, really relaxing. You just sit and knit. And generally, when I'm doing this, I'm just watching some YouTube, and mindless knitting is what I call it. And one of the reasons that I need to make more dish rags is because my dog Zeus has decided that he now likes to eat them. And as I wash them and I pull them out of the dryer and I'll put them in the cabinet, and he just gets a hold of them, climbing in the basket, and grabs them and eats them. Literally, there will be pieces all over the floor. I don't know why he does that, but it's quite annoying. And he's managed to go through 4 of them. So I now am knitting more. There is another pattern that I like to do besides this one. Cannot remember the name of it. I will look it up though. And it's also a nice pattern. Now it's considered a pot holder pattern, but I'll be honest, the pattern is thin and I would not use it as a pot holder. You know what's also nice to be able to do is take these and knit a square, and you'll knit it about 5 inches by 2, and then you can make a little pouch out of it, and then you can put like a little string through the end of it, and then you can make it into like a little heating pad. Whoops. Sorry about that. My husband came in. Anyhow, I was saying you could make like a little pouch, about this long, maybe this wide. You can knit them. Now, this is one that I've knitted. This is a dish rag that I've already knitted. But you can make a pouch like this size, fold it, knit the sides together or sew them together, or even make it smaller if you'd like. Sew them together, then put like some yarn through the top, through the holes at the top so you can close it up. And inside of there, you could put some rice or beans, and you have a little pad that, if you just needed heat on your ear because you have an earache, or if you're having pain in your forehead and your sinuses right above your your forehead, your eyes. You can warm these up because they're cotton, they hold the heat. And if you use rice or beans and throw it in the microwave for like 25-30 seconds, it'll be nice and warm, and you can just place it on the area that you need it. Now those are really nice. Those sell really good as well. Hey everybody, how are you doing? Okay, I'm back from knitting half of this. It's been a day later because I ended up getting a really bad migraine. And for those of you who suffer with migraines, you'll understand. I was stuck in bed with the AC going full blast. I have to be in a really dark, really cold room, and any little movement, just blinking my eyes, was horrible. So I wasn't able to do anything for a whole day. I was literally stuck. So move that over here. That's my burn the back of my eyes with that. So I'm gonna do the decreases now. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I'll try to make it to where you can see it. I don't know if you're interested in knitting, but we knit one. I've got 48 stitches on here. We knit one, and then we knit 2 stitches together. Now this is a tight fit, trying to get 2, but we get 2 stitches together, wrap it around, pull it through, and throw it off the cliff. Then we do a yarn over, and then again we knit 2 stitches together. And the reason we do it this way is to maintain the little braid on the side. So basically we're decreasing one, but then we're adding a yarn over, which would be adding a stitch. So we have to decrease another. And then we just knit all the way down to the end. Now I want to show you, I want to do a couple of rows so you guys can see what it'll look like at the corners. And like I said, this is mindless knitting. It's just fun if you're just sitting outside and you're relaxing, but you want to keep your hands busy and you don't want to crochet and have to sit and count. Like this, I don't have to count because I know how many stitches I've got on here, and I don't have to babysit it as I'm doing it, I mean, I can crochet without looking at it, but knitting seems to be much easier to do that with. Yeah, so I had a massive migraine. I started working on this in that one part of the video, and I was sitting here, just knitting away, trying to get halfway through, and then all of a sudden it started creeping up on me, and I thought, well, it's just a regular headache. Then I started getting sick to my stomach, and then it started getting worse, and I don't get migraines often, maybe once a month, sometimes twice a month, depending on the stress levels I'm under. But I was sick. I was really sick to my stomach. And it was just horrible. I was stuck in bed. I was, every time I'd open my eyes or blink, anything, it was painful. And I was just stuck on one side because I knew if I moved, I was either going to get sick to my stomach or my head was just going to pound. And a migraine, it's not just in your head. It's behind your eyes. Well, for me, it's behind my eyes. And it's just terrible. It's the worst feeling ever. So, yeah, it took me a day of just laying in bed, which is good because sometimes it's 2 days. And it's just not good. Okay, so I knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, and then knit to the end of the row. And I want to show you this, how it turns into a square. I mean, I guess you could basically understand as you hear me knitting two together, knit two together, and that's, oh, my doggo's coming in the room. My dogs might start barking because my husband's at the back door fixing the porch, I think, fixing the back porch, or I know he was painting, so he might still be painting the back porch, not the back porch, the outside wall of the house. And so my dogs like to go to the back door and just listen. And they might bark because if they, right now it sounds like he's screwing in, putting in some screws, probably on the back patio, back porch, and they're scared of the tools. It's comical, really. I got up this morning and took the doggos out, and funnily enough, they went potty and then they wanted right back in the house. So I don't know if there was something out there that they made them feel uneasy, but usually they want to walk around for a little bit, you know, and look around outside and talk to the neighbors' dogs. But this morning they went to the potty and ran back up on the porch and was ready to come back inside, which was fine with me because I really didn't want to be outside all morning. But I'm starting to get that feeling again in my head, like I was the other night when I got the migraine, and I'm praying to the good Lord that it just does not come back, because all I could do was just lay there, and every time I was in so much pain, every time I'd cry, I would just hurt. It's an undescribable feeling, a migraine. Some people think it's just, oh, it's just a headache, but it's so much more than that. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for everyone who gets migraines, but mine is, I'm sick to my stomach. I can't move. I can't do anything but lay there. It's got to be extremely cold and extremely dark. And even that doesn't help me, you know, so it's just a whole thing. All right, so we knit one, knit two together, yarn over, knit two together. Now let me know if these are things that you're interested in. I never know what to talk about on my videos. I'm sure I show you my market prep ideas and stuff, but I think I've got plenty enough for this next market. I don't really feel like there's anything else I need. And I've got 1 week left. Today is Saturday, so I've got 6 days left technically. And so I'm pretty sure I've got plenty. They still never emailed me back, but that's all right. I told my husband we'd get there early. We'll show up early, and that way if they know I'm coming because I've emailed them twice. So and I was invited by one of the coordinators, so there's no way they don't know that I'm coming, because I told him that day when I was invited that I will definitely be there. And so I will do video on that market next weekend, because, you know, it's a big market to me. I need to find that paper that I had so I can remember what time it starts. See, the thing is, I wish they would have emailed me back so I know exactly what time I need to be there. You know, that would be nice. I'm not going to sit and email them over and over and over again. That's rude. But, You know, it's also rude not to reply back, so I'm going to do one more round of the decreases, and then I'll show you exactly what it's looking like. And then I will probably get off of here and finish this up, and then show you guys the finished product. So once again, we knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together. Now the knitting 2 together is, it's a tight space in there with 2 stitches. That's but it's easy when I'm using metal knitting needles, and these knitting needles are Haya knitting needles. They're Haya sharps, so they have really sharp ends. So if you're not careful, you could actually stab yourself with them. It's one of the disclaimers you get when you order these, is to be extremely careful as to not cut yourself, because they're sharp. I mean, but there's ones that are even sharper that I will be purchasing eventually. That these right here, this, I can't remember what size this was. These are a 2.75. These are Chow Goo knitting needles, and these are even sharper than the ones that I'm using. These are the ones I use for knitting socks. These little guys. These I use for knitting socks. I actually have 3 of these, but they're not the interchangeable ones, and those are the ones that I'm looking for, the interchangeable. These are my sock knitting needles. These right here. Now what I do, I knit 2 at a time, because I don't know if any one of you have ever tried to knit, but it's this thing called second sock syndrome, where if you knit one, then you don't want to have to go back and knit the second one, and it's called second sock syndrome. Well, I had experienced that. You know, I got a bunch of one sockers around here, because you know, you go through knitting one and then you're like, oh, I don't want to have to knit another sock. So when you knit 2 at a time, you have no issues. You'll have both your socks ready at the same exact time, with the same amount of decreases, the same length, and you don't have to worry about measuring the length and all of that good stuff. And that's why one of the things that I recommend if you're knitting socks, and I know this is a crochet channel, but we do a little knitting around here too, I recommend is to use the heel wrap and not the gusset wrap, heel, because it's difficult to heel flap and gusset when you're doing 2 at a time. Anyhow, so this is what it looks like when I started decreasing. Now you see where it starts to round off here at the side. Now you got your point here, you got your point here, and you got a point over here. And it's just going to slowly continue to decrease till I have that side like this side. So I'm going to continue working on this. When I get down to the last 10 stitches, then I'll jump back on and show you the decreases that I'm doing, and you'll get to see the finished product. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you in a little bit. Hey everybody, I'm back. So we have now gotten down to 8 stitches on our dishcloth, and I'm going to finish this off while I talk. I hope everybody is doing well. I feel like I might be getting another migraine coming on. I think once I get done with this, I'm going to go walk my dogs and probably lay down for just a little bit. Take me a little nap. I say nap, but it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I think I'm down to 9 stitches on this, but now we're down to 8. So there's 8 stitches. Now this video has taken me quite a long time to make, between the migraine that I had and just all the things that I had going on. I feel like I've been trying to make this for a week or two, and it actually has been over a week that I've been working on this video. But if this is something you're interested in, watching me knit, I was thinking about doing a pair of socks. If that's your cup of tea, you're more than welcome to sit and join and enjoy the jibber jabber. Not a whole lot to talk about, you know. Just sit in peace and watch the knitting and grab a cup of tea or coffee or water or whatever's your drink of choice. When I get down to 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I get down to 5 stitches, then we'll get to where we start to fasten off. Whoopsie daisy. My needle just fell right out of there. So that's 1. Knit 1. Knit 2. Yarn over. Knit 2. Knit 1. Okay, we're down to our last 5 stitches. So what we'll do is we'll knit 1, knit 2 together, and instead of yarning over, we'll just knit 2 together again. Then we're down to 3 little stitches. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll knit all 3 stitches together. Now it's a tight fit to get into all 3, but we manage. Somehow we manage. There we go. Then we pull up a loop, trim our yarn. We take the string, put it through that loop, grab it, pull it tight. Now, what you want to do is you want to take your string, your yarn tail, and you want to splice it, take it apart like this to where you have 2 on one side, 2 on the other. Slowly let it come undone. And then you want to take it and make a knot. I usually tie it about 3 times. Then you use your yarn needle. And I do have a skinny one that I use. And you hide your tails. Going up and down a couple times in the sides. Trim that one off. You'll do the same thing for the other end. You just unravel it, make a knot, weave in your tails, and voila, you're good to go. It's a fairly simple process. You have yourself a dish rag, Now these are nice to make for Christmas gifts. You make a set of 4, wrap it up in a ribbon, wrap a ribbon around it, and give it as Christmas gifts. You can make all different sizes, all different colors. They don't take long at all, assuming you can work on them. It don't take me, but generally it takes me like 4 hours to make one, depending on the size of the needles that I'm using. In this case, I was using some small ones. I was using a small size. I believe those were 4.5. And so using the smaller needles takes me longer. If I use bigger needles, such as a 5 or higher, which is what's recommended when making these, but I don't like the holes too wide, then it doesn't take nearly as long if you're using larger knitting needles. I just prefer tighter holes in my wash rags or dish rags or rags, or, you know, they have multiple names. And here we are. This is the finished product. You could just fold them up like so. Fold them up, and I have my other one over here. Fold that up. Not a neat folding job by any means, but you can make, you know, you can take them like this. Whoops. Take them like that. Get them like this. Wrap a ribbon around it and give them as Christmas gifts. Always nice to have these around the house when you just need to grab a rag to wash your face or do your dishes or whatever you want to use it for. And they're made of cotton, so you just toss them in the washing machine, throw them in the dryer, and start again the next day. But if you stuck with me this long, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate all of you, all of the viewership that I get and all of the viewers that I have. If you're interested in more stuff like knitting, I would be willing to do that. I would be willing to do more knitting projects for you. Just comment down below and let me know what you like. Anyways, y'all have a blessed day. I will see you again in the next one.